Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news. If there's one thing that's been buzzing all around the NFL lately, it's the potential blockbuster trade involving Fred Warner, the star linebacker of the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants. Now I know what you're thinking. Warner. That's a name Giants fans would definitely love to see in blue and white, right? Well, according to some pretty credible sources, there's been talk about the 49ers, who at 9-7 are looking to lighten their hefty cap load, about $20 million, by trading some of their veteran stars. And Warner, despite his age at 29, might be the biggest prize for a team like the Giants, who are desperately looking to bolster their defense and add some much-needed veteran leadership and versatility. Let's break down what's being floated around. The 49ers, with their roster aging and facing some tough decisions, might be willing to trade Warner in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft and a third-rounder in 2027. It's a pretty bold move, but it makes sense from their perspective. Warner, who recently signed a $63 million extension, is still playing at an elite level, ranking as one of the top linebackers in the league. According to PFF, he's rated at a 93. 2 overall, which puts him at the very top of the linebacker rankings, and he's known for being a beast against the run with a 91. 3 rating, and even more impressive in coverage, boasting a 91. 5 rating, which is the best among all linebackers. Warner's career stats are nothing short of phenomenal. Over his career, he's accumulated 602 tackles, 39 sacks, 37 passes defended, and 4 interceptions, along with 4 forced fumbles. His ability to read plays, make stops, and cover tight ends and running backs makes him one of the most versatile and impactful linebackers in the league today. And at 29, he's still got plenty of prime years ahead of him, especially considering his minimal injury history. Just some minor lesions in 2025, but nothing serious. His tackling grade last season was 83-0, and he's dominated mid-range and short yardage situations, often creating mismatches for offenses. Comparing him to linebackers like Wagner, Warner's ability to shut down the middle of the field and make crucial stops is elite, and that's exactly what the Giants need. Now, why would the Giants go after Warner? Well, for starters, their linebacker core has been a bit of a weakness, especially in coverage. They need a versatile, intelligent linebacker who can handle multiple roles on defense. Warner fits that bill perfectly. He's a high IQ player with a reputation for leadership and consistency. Adding him to a defense that already features talented players like Thibodeaux, who's been creating mismatches on the edge, could elevate the Giants' overall defensive efficiency by a significant margin. In fact, projections suggest that Warner could bring about an additional 100 tackles, improve coverage EPA by plus 0.3, and boost third down stops by around 15%. These stats would translate into a defense that's 12% more efficient overall, making it much harder for opponents to sustain drives. But it's not just about raw numbers. Warner's presence on the field would bring a veteran mind to a relatively young Giants defense. His ability to read plays, communicate quickly, and set the tone would be invaluable, especially in high-pressure situations involving division rivals like the Eagles. The Eagles, who are always tough and have a potent offense, would have a harder time breaking through a defense with Warner patrolling the middle. His addition could be the difference-maker in tight games, especially when you consider how much he can help in stopping tight ends and reducing yards after the catch, which has been a recurring issue for the Giants. Looking at the bigger picture, this potential move could have major implications for the Giants' Super Bowl aspirations. The odds already favor the Giants at around plus 11-0 to win the Super Bowl, but if they manage to add a player of Warner's caliber, those odds could shift dramatically in their favor, possibly down to plus 10-0 or even better. Warner's ability to turn a good defense into a great one is well documented, and his leadership could help galvanize the entire team. Remember, in recent seasons, the Giants have shown flashes of brilliance but have lacked that consistent, game-changing presence on defense. Warner could be that player, anchoring the middle of the field and making life miserable for offenses. Of course, The 49ers aren't just trading Warner for fun. They're looking to rebuild their roster with an eye on the future. Their focus is heavily on their offensive line, with an aging core, and they're prioritizing younger players and draft picks to sustain their competitive window. The move would also help them clear about $29 million in cap space, giving them flexibility for future extensions, including for players like Purdy, who's been a bright spot at quarterback. The focus for San Francisco is on maintaining a strong defense, but adding draft capital now makes strategic sense, especially if they believe Warner's best years might be behind him or if they're looking to rebuild more quickly. On the flip side, for the Giants, acquiring Warner would be a statement move, signaling that they're serious about contending and building a defense that can carry them deep into the playoffs. It's not just about adding a star, it's about filling a key gap with a player who can make everyone around him better. The Giants have been cautiously optimistic about their progress this season, but they know they need a few more pieces to truly compete with teams like the Eagles and Cowboys. Warner's arrival could be the catalyst that pushes them over the edge. Some skeptics might point out that trading away draft picks might weaken the Giants' long-term outlook. But if they're smart about it and pair Warner with their existing core, they could see immediate results. Plus, the NFL is all about maximizing your window, and bringing in a player of Warner's caliber now could mean the difference between a playoff appearance and an early exit. Fans are already dreaming about the possibilities. Imagine Warner lining up next to Thibodeaux, creating chaos for opposing quarterbacks, and helping the Giants tighten up their defense in critical moments. Now, let's talk about the impact on the division. The NFC East has been fiercely competitive, with the Eagles dominating the scene recently, but the Giants are quietly building something special. Adding Warner would send a message to the rest of the division that New York is back in the game, ready to challenge seriously. His experience against top-tier offenses would be invaluable in divisional matchups, and his leadership could help the Giants tighten up on third downs and reduce points allowed per game. This move could turn the tide in their favor, making the Giants a more formidable opponent on a weekly basis. And then there's the Super Bowl picture. The odds are already shifting with the Giants, recent improvements, but Warner's addition could push them even further. The betting lines might see a significant drop in Super Bowl odds for the Giants, especially if they manage to add him before the season kicks off. His impact on the defense would be felt immediately, elevating the team's chances of making a deep playoff run, maybe even returning them to the Super Bowl stage. Remember, teams that build around solid, experienced defenses tend to go far. Think of the dominant defenses in recent history. Warner could be the missing piece that finally gets the Giants over the hump. In conclusion, this potential trade is one of those rare opportunities that could reshape the NFC East landscape. The Giants have a chance to add a top-tier linebacker who can immediately impact their defense, help them compete at the highest level, and possibly even push them toward a Super Bowl appearance. It's a bold move, but one that could pay off in a big way. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and if the Giants pull this off, it's going to be one of the most talked-about moves of the year. Imagine Warner in that Giants defense, flying around, making plays, and leading the charge. It's the kind of move that gets fans excited, dreaming of glory days and Super Bowl glory once again. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster move? Do you think Warner would be the perfect fit for the Giants, or are you skeptical about giving up future picks for a player who's already in his late 20s? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the Giants. Remember, the offseason is just getting started, and this could be the move that defines the season. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest New York Giants news. Let's keep the passion alive and continue supporting our team through thick and thin. Because, at the end of the day, we're all in this together, dreaming of that Super Bowl trophy once more.